Howdy folks, I'm Cheap Christmas Cards, cordially calling for calm celebrations.
I'm Amber.
And here are more calm celebrations for us to cordially call upon other Christmas cards to join us for. I don't really know why, don't know how, but maybe it's because of the Reddit. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Cooking My Son?
Yeah, I don't think that's the story.
Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, I let my 12-year-old son make himself something to eat. Am I the jerk? I'm a 34-year-old female, and I live with my 44-year-old male boyfriend with my 12-year-old male son. Not his father, on occasion, my son likes to cook his own dinner, using whatever ingredients that I was using. Cooking chicken for dinner, he wanted to season and cook it differently than what I was making. My 44-year-old male boyfriend has a huge problem with this, amongst other things. My boyfriend has a habit of telling me that I let my son do whatever he wants to do and refuses to see anything any other way. It's constantly, why can't he just eat what you made for dinner? It's not all the time my son does this, but maybe once or twice a month. He's a pretty good eater of my dinners, even when things aren't the best. On top of that, my son cooks himself breakfast every morning before school, usually 2 eggs, a piece of toast, and caramelized onions. I don't know, he's on an onion kick. And my boyfriend just hates it. Please reassure me that my boyfriend is being ridiculous. But am I the jerk for letting my son cook for himself sometimes? Alright folks, what do you think? Horrors of horrors?
Not the jerk. A 12-year-old is old enough to do a little bit of cooking, and I think it's actually a very good thing at this age for him to be learning how to make his own foods. Cooking is an essential life skill.
Yeah, everyone should know how to cook, plain and simple. Like, being able to cook a few simple meals is going to be vital for somebody in their adult life. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I don't know what the boyfriend's problem here is, but this isn't your problem and it's not the son's problem, it's his problem.
Yeah, well, his whole attitude of why can't he just eat what you make, like, we don't force adults to eat foods they don't like. We accept sometimes that they have different taste buds but they can make their own separate meal if they don't like it. OP's son is doing that very thing. He is making his own version of the meal. It's not even extra work for OP. The son is doing it, and if it works for both of them, I don't understand why the boyfriend is so upset about it.
Now, I could understand if the son was like demanding OP make changes and, accommodate his tastes and stuff like that. But again, this is a matter of he's doing these kinds of things on his own. It's an important skill to have. I don't see any reason why OP should discourage him from doing this. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for breaking off my engagement with my fiance because of his creepy comments towards my 14-year-old sister? I'm a 20-year-old female and I'm in a tough situation, and I'm not sure if I'm overreacting, so I need some outside perspectives. I've been with my fiance, Charles, a 35-year-old male, for about 2 years, and everything seemed fine up until recently. A few weeks ago, my 14-year-old sister, Amy, came to stay with us just for a few days while our parents were out of town. During her stay, I noticed something really unsettling. At first, I thought that I was imagining it, but Charles started making comments that made me feel incredibly uncomfortable. He would call her so hot and would say things like, you're going to turn heads when you're older, and you've got such a body on you already. The worst part is when he said, I would be jealous if I were your boyfriend. Every guy will be looking at you soon. I tried to ignore it at first, but it kept happening. And I began to feel sick to my stomach. Then one evening, I overheard him telling a friend on the phone, Amy's got that look now, and it looks like she's starting to bloom. It was honestly one of the creepiest things I've ever heard. I felt like I was losing my mind, and I just knew I couldn't stay in a relationship like that anymore. I confronted him about his behavior and immediately got defensive. He denied it and said that I was being paranoid and I should just trust him. He insisted that he was just being nice, and that I was overreacting. I didn't care. I packed my bags and I broke off the engagement and I moved back in with my parents. Now my friends and some of my family members are telling me that I overreacted. They say that I should have talked it out with him first, but I don't see how that would have changed anything. So am I the jerk for breaking up with my fiance because of his creepy comments towards my little sister? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. Those comments were very creepy, and I understand why you would want to break up with him. He is sexualizing a child here. And it seems like he started dating OP when she was just barely a legal adult. and she was 18, he was 33. And so this seems to be a general trend with him where he is interested in women who are barely legal or even children still.
So I think that OP needs to consider the future here, right? What happens if they end up having a child together and it happened to be a girl? And what would he say about their daughter or her friends if they came over to the house? This is going to be just more of the same kind of stuff here, and he'll of course rationalize it and justify it with these same kind of things, like, oh no, this isn't creepy or anything like that. OP is right to trust their gut, right? If you feel unsettled by a situation and you feel like something isn't quite right, oftentimes your gut knows best, and so you should trust those feelings. So I think that OP made the best decision that they could have made in under the circumstances. I would say the only thing that OP could have done differently in this situation is confront him when he first said something and shut it down immediately. Because if he's saying these things to OP's sister, then that's not great and it might make her uncomfortable.
Yeah, it could very well make her uncomfortable. And it seems like OP was trying to like deny and dismiss this, like, because sometimes people are very good at like projecting like he's trying to normalize his behavior. He's trying to act like it's nonchalant, like everything's fine. There's nothing weird about this. And so I don't necessarily blame OP for doubting herself and her intuition, but like it is important to step in and make sure her sister doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And this is not the kind of person you want to be with.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Wear a Special Bridesmaid Dress That My Sister Chose for Me? I'm a 20-year-old female, and I'm in my older sister, a 27-year-old female's, wedding in 2 weeks. She always dreamed of a fairy tale wedding, and I was thrilled to be included as a bridesmaid. Everything was fine until she revealed our dresses. She sent me a separate package with a note saying that mine was special and different from the others. When I opened it, I was surprised to find a bright orange dress, like construction cone orange. The other bridesmaids are all wearing elegant shades of champagne. Confused, I called her and asked if this was a mistake, and she laughed and said that it wasn't. She said that she wanted me to stand out since I'm the youngest and wanted to add some fun to the lineup. I told her that I wasn't comfortable with the color because I would feel like it would make me look ridiculous standing next to everyone else. She brushed it off, saying that it's her day and I should just go along with it. When I tried to push back, she got defensive, saying, "You don't even like weddings, you'll survive a few hours." Here's the thing, she's not wrong, I don't enjoy big events or being the center of attention, and she knows that. But I think that it's unfair to single me out for her amusement when this is supposed to be about her and her fiance. I said that I would happily wear the same dress as everyone else or step out of the bridal party, but she got upset and said that I was ruining her vision. Now my mom is involved in saying that I should just get over it because it's only a day, and my sister's stressed enough. I feel bad, but I also don't want to spend an entire wedding feeling humiliated for a joke that I didn't agree to. So am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Absolutely not the jerk. It is very clear the sister is doing one of two things. Either she's trying to make OP the butt of some kind of joke,
Yep.
or she is setting OP up to make it look like OP's sabotaging the wedding. Oh, she's wearing a different dress than all the other bridesmaids, bright orange. Clearly, she's trying to upstage me.
Yeah.
And so neither option is good. I think you're well within your rights, OP, to back down, to not back down, but to like back out of the wedding party and tell her that you're not going to be in it anymore. I would also make sure that the larger circle is aware of what she's doing so she can't pull something on you. Make sure the groom in particular, like if you have a group chat with the other bridesmaids, make sure they know, make sure the groom knows, make sure your extended family know. Like, don't let your sister, like if you have take screenshots of her messages, don't let her construct this narrative where she stopped OP from like sabotaging her day with a bright orange dress or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I think, the biggest thing that OP needs to do is really just cover their butt here and make sure that if they do end up going to this wedding in the orange dress, that they make sure that everyone knows and everyone's aware that this was the bride's idea. Because the last thing that OP needs is for people to accuse them of trying to upstage the bride. Now, why the bride would do this is kind of beyond me, because it kind of feels almost counterintuitive because of course you don't want to, a lot of brides are concerned when people try to take the spotlight off of them, right?
That's why I'm wondering if she's just trying to kick OP out for some reason and humiliate her that way. Like,
Yeah.
oh, she is sabotaging my wedding. Escort her out, my dramatic sister.
Yeah, so I think that this is either that she wants OP to be the center of attention because she knows that OP doesn't like being in the limelight, or like you said, she's trying to do this as a way of forcing OP to look bad, which I don't know. I don't understand either of those stances there, but I mean, some people are just mean and petty. I think OP would be best to do what they've already suggested that they're going to do and step out of the wedding party. That way, they can have a nice normal dress and not have to really worry about the additional drama.
Right. And share the receipts when you do back out. Make
Yeah.
sure that everyone is aware why you're backing out before your sister can spin the narrative.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Horror Proofish says, "Oh no, go find a champagne dress like the others and just don't say anything. Turn up and tell her it's either a dress of the same color or you're going home. You're not her punchline." And OP replies, "Tempting idea. Blend in or bow out. No way I'm her punchline." What do you think of that idea of her just to go find a champagne dress like the other bridesmaids?
I mean, she could do it, and I don't know how that would go over. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, however it goes down, the sister's gonna try and spin it, so I would make sure to have, again, very clear what is going on here. But that could work.
Yeah, I mean, my thought on this is that it would be on the day of the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So the bride wouldn't probably make a big deal out of it because then she would have to explain that OP, was not wearing her bright orange dress that she wanted her to wear, which,
Well, my only concern is like if it's not the exact same dress as the other bridesmaids, then she might be like, "Oh, OP was ruining it with the wrong dress or something."
and Board of Ben says, "Not the jerk. If the point was to make you stand out, then there were plenty of elegant colors choices that don't resemble a construction site. While your sister might have a fairy tale theme in mind, but that shouldn't come at the cost of making someone uncomfortable for the sake of her special day. There is nothing wrong with you not wanting to wear that color." And OP replies, "Exactly. There are so many classy ways to stand out without looking like a traffic control. I wish that she would consider my feelings a bit more. Thanks for the support." And Regular Occasion 7000 says, "Not a jerk. I think that you're in a no-win situation here. Wear the dress and be accused of trying to steal the attention by wearing an off color, or step down and be accused of ruining her day." And OP replies, "Exactly. No matter what I do, it would feel like I was the villain of her story. It's such a frustrating position to be in, and I'm trying so hard to avoid unnecessary drama. Thank you for your understanding." All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, "Am I a jerk for offering to have my nieces for the weekend?" I'm a 26-year-old female, and I've been with my girlfriend, a 23-year-old female, for 4 years. Girlfriend works at a nursery and has done it since she was 16. Started doing placement there and worked up. She used to love the job. The longer that she's worked there, the less she's loved it. And she works closely with children with SEND, which I think is just special needs. I recently lost my job, meaning she's gone from working 9:30 to 5 to 8 to 6. She says that it's exhausting, especially with the bus travel. I've been looking hard to get a job. My sister recently told me that her husband surprised her with a weekend trip to wherever. Could we have the girls 9, 10, and 2? And of course I agreed. Impulsively, then I felt bad and I asked my girlfriend, who seemed okay. But obviously that weekend came and went. The girls clung to her, which I don't blame them for. I did try to distract them. But now my girlfriend is refusing to do her chores this weekend, claiming that I ruined her last weekend, and she's exhausted. She'll do them on Monday. I want them done this weekend, and we're arguing. My sister thinks that I'm not the jerk, but my mom believes that I am. I did apologize. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, you're the jerk big time. You unilaterally decided that you were going to take your sister's kids for the weekend, and then your girlfriend ended up doing all the care after having a very long week. Your girlfriend made the very reasonable suggestion of, "I'm going to do my chores on Monday." You're the one who's demanding they need to get done. If you want them done, you do them. While she's the only one working and doing all the work, maybe it's time to have a redistribution of the chores until your job picks up.
Well, I mean, and that's kind of my thought here. I mean, OP has less responsibilities in the moment, and maybe OP, if they really want to have these chores done, they should take some time and do them themselves. Now, I mean, I understand that OP might be frustrated in this situation, but it sounds like their partner didn't get a break over the last weekend. And they're not even asking to not do these chores. They're just saying that they don't want to do them over this weekend. So I think that OP needs to take a step back and realize that they're kind of being controlling here and maybe work towards being a little bit more accommodating towards their partner and their needs.
Right. It's like they don't even care that their partner is suffering. You know, it's clear she has a very hard job. She's working extra hours to make ends meet now. And now she's had to do caregiving for the entire weekend. And Opie's just like, well, why aren't your chores done?
Yeah. So I think that OP needs to grow up, plain and simple. I understand they're looking for a job. They have more time on their hands. Take some time and ease the load off of your partner's back. That's what I have to say. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Mildly inconvenienced. Mildly inconvenienced. Yeah, the wheel's right here.
Yeah, Opie's been mildly inconvenienced, but...
All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
I like to talk about my pet penguin whenever I meet someone new. It's a great icebreaker.
Ah, speaking of real icebreakers, I've got Mega Mint, which is just as cold as the Arctic. Or the Antarctic.
Is that like the Arctic, but for ants?
It might be.
Sounds like something Zoolander would say.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy, wonderful Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Folks, I hope your day is going great. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a haiku for Haiku Wednesday.
Humiliation is not a great way to kick off your big day.
It really isn't a good way. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.